the program which is being organized today, one-day awareness program on water conservation. As my earlier speaker said, Professor Rishi and Professor, Kalu Saab and of course Manzoor Wangnu Saab, they said the importance of water conservation. I will, in a very simple manner, as a woman, as a housewife, as a common person, not as a vice chancellor, not as an academician, not as an researcher, will try to, enforce just a few things. I think Manzoor Saab or somebody said that it's very important we get connected to the community. I feel, being in the field of academics where my main aim was that I should be connected to the community. And the power is with the youth which we have in this hall, both from right and from left side, I mean boys and girls. You have the power to be connected with the community. Research is being done in the university, in all the departments. आपके day to day programs, lectures वगैरह वो होते हैं, लेकिन change हमने कहाँ पे लानी है? Change is very important to have in the community. A common woman, a common man, a common boy, a common girl. From where this type of campaigning will start. Manzoor Saab is doing his bit from his side. He has made a change, and he was assessed for the award, which certification of appreciation which he has been awarded today. Great work he is doing. We can see the change in our Nagin Lake. Definitely the university has been in touch with him, and wherever he needs us, people have been helping him. I would definitely like that more type of collaboration with the university will definitely do it. So the change becomes more visible, not only for the Nagin Lake. We should move beyond the Nagin Lake, and wherever this type of job is to be done, we should definitely do it. And for that, Department of Botany or any other department where they have to contribute, we'll definitely do it. Our young documentary, our young Mr. Abdul Rashid Bhatt, who makes documentaries on this environmental conservation and all that. I'm sure that if we screen out these types of documentaries at the community level, it definitely will make some type of awareness. Similarly, as educationists, as researchers, being involved in such huge projects, it's our duty that we get ourselves connected at the community level, so that definitely we can make a change. Today's program has got great importance at national level, at international level. Our Honorable Prime Minister always, makes speeches, and he always gives great importance to water conservation at the national level, at the international level. So definitely, one of our aim at the university is to be connected with it. Manzoor Saab already said that we are hosting Y20, conference over here, 2 days conference, as a parallel to G20. The mandate has given to us again on climatic change, and I'm sure that one of the concerns will be water conservation. Many international experts, around 11, 12, are participating in it. Many international participants are participating in it, about 25 to 30. Similarly, the national, speakers, the national participants. So big event where I think, the Department of Botany can contribute a lot. I do look forward that the Department of Botany, because they have done lots of work on it, so we can definitely see while we work on the papers, while the working papers are framed, we have the active participation from University of Kashmir by our Department of Botany. I congratulate the department. I congratulate Professor Zafar Rishi, who's the nodal person for Himalayan Knowledge Network, JNK chapter. That a very commendable work is being done in this particular forum, and I'm sure that this type of work will be carried on, not pertaining to water conservation only, but the other related parameters which are there in order to protect our environment. With these words, congratulations to the Department of Botany for having such an important program today, and I do look forward to our young students, that they participate pertaining to awareness programs, pertaining to sensitization programs at the community level, so that we definitely make a change. I think to a large extent, we as senior citizens, we have done our job in preparing you to be more aware and sensitized, and I think you have to take this mission forward, and I'm sure our youth has got that acumen, it has that dedication. They will definitely do it, because it's duty of all of us to protect our environment by way of water conservation. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you must be knowing that until a few centuries past, man and nature worked well together. Earth seems very large, right? And then man thought that the resources of the earth are inexhaustible, and he took to using these resources lavishly, and until the earth began to speak for itself in the form of flash floods, in the form of heat waves, in the form of drought, in the form of water scarcity. And then scientists had warned of this profligacy, but nobody paid attention. It's like Nuh alayhi salam warning people of the deluge, but nobody paying attention. Likewise, scientists has also warned people of the deluge, but somehow people ignored the warnings. And then the situation is before us, that we, despite living in Kashmir, where we could have been expecting very high reserves of water, we are also facing now shortage of water at many places. Whatever fresh water we have available, we are, say, polluting it. We are extracting it beyond the carrying capacity of its regeneration. Now, the challenge is so that individuals may not be able to set things right. A collective effort is required. And then particularly in the context of Himalaya, it's a very fragile system. Things are changing very fast. The people are marginalized, and these marginalized sections of people are dependent on the resources that these mountainous ecosystems provide. But unfortunately, the Himalayas are warming much faster than the global average, which is a cause of concern. Our glaciers are melting very fast. We are pumping groundwater aquifers dry. We are poisoning lakes and waters with pesticides. I mean, this is what the reality is before us. In this regard, the Niti Aayog of the Government of India sometime back thought that we cannot have a uniform solution for these problems all across India, India being a very huge country. Particularly with regard to Himalaya, they thought that people need to be involved in the policy formulations and policy implementations. And it is in this regard came into existence this concept of Himalayan Knowledge Network. Now, this Himalayan Knowledge Network is supposed to be serving as a bridge between the academia and the government, and then formulate policies which are in sync with the requirements of the Himalayan region, so that the deliverables are exactly in tune with the requirements of this region. Now, incidentally, GB Pant National Institute of Himalayan Environment is the nodal agency to implement this HKN, Himalayan Knowledge Network. Sometime back, they contacted me, then requested for establishment of a chapter. Since we have a system in place in university, we had to seek a permission. We sought permission. University authorities were very kind in granting that permission, and ultimately a chapter came into existence in Jammu and Kashmir, which is called as the JK chapter of HKN. And under this JK chapter of HKN, we had a state-level workshop wherein all stakeholders were called. There were people from Jammu, elsewhere. And then we discussed, deliberated upon themes, and ultimately after due deliberations, 2 themes were identified which are very central to the Kashmir. One was biodiversity, its conservation, sustainable utilization. The second was water conservation, right? Shortly, we will be, say, publishing 2 reports on these 2 themes. I must take this opportunity to profusely thank Dr. Irfan Rashid of Geoinformatics, who helped us in developing one of the reports. We had inputs from Dr. Samiullah, we had inputs from Dr. Arshad Jahangir in that report. And we have another report coming up on biodiversity. And then I also thank our colleague Rais Malik for developing these two reports. We have another report on biodiversity wherein somehow the focus is on consolidating the information that we have and then how this biodiversity could be utilized for sustainable development or economic progress of this place. These two reports will be shortly, publishing, and then we are thinking of, sharing the copies of these reports with all of you, so that you also come up with your suggestions before they are ultimately submitted to the Niti Aayog.
I would like to express my gratitude for the appreciation and award. I am deeply humbled. I dedicate this award to Team NELCO for their unflinching support, especially my three cousins, Latif, Riaz, and Muzaffar. The success mission as such was a team effort, and everyone involved deserved applause and encouragement. I thank all those who have helped us in this capacity to further this mission and help regenerate this dead lake. The prize money, which will be deposited in NELCO's account, will be deposited in NELCO's account, which will be utilized for the mission, inshallah. The journey towards the success of Mission Asas was not an easy one. Trust me, it was really not an easy one. Land grabbers, land encroachers, and then in the lake there were dead animals, polythene bags, and people in the beginning thought that he has come. There are so many people have come here. So many in these departments have also started the initiative for last 30 years. What this gentleman will do. So at that time, I approached, when I reached there, before that, I was invited in one Doordarshan program, and the anchor gave me 20 seconds and said, what will you give the message? I just said one word, Asas. If this Asas comes in me, if this Asas comes in you, if this Asas comes in the government, we can do something. And under this PPP mode, we did it, alhamdulillah. And in 100 days, we were able to restore this lake to its pristine glory. Recently, the migratory birds have come. Recently, the fishes, the golden fishes, which used to be 30 years before there, they are back in this lake. And a lot more has to be done, not only this. And then the children have started swimming again in this lake. The most important thing is the navigation system, which we have to get in with this. The water which comes from the catchment areas, then it goes in Dal, and then in the Nigeen. From Nigeen, it goes to Pokribal, then Nale Amir Khan, Gilsar. From Gilsar, it goes to this Khoshalsar, then Sadapur, Anchar, and from Anchar, it goes to Walar. There was a time 30 years before when tourists would go in those big dungas or shikaras. You must be remembering that. And they would take a bird sanctuary trip from that time. I want to bring that back in these lakes, inshallah, with the support and help from the University of Kashmir under the dynamic leadership of our Vice Chancellor.
It is my privilege to welcome you all in this brief but a fruitful program pertaining to Mission Life. Mission Life seeks to translate the vision of life into measurable impact. It is designed with the objective to mobilize at least 1 billion Indians and other global citizens to take individual and collective action for protecting and conserving the environment in the period 2022 to 2028. These actions are listed under 7 categories, including energy saving, water saving, reducing use of single-use plastics, sustainable food systems, waste reduction, adopting healthy lifestyle, and e-waste handling. In today's program, we are focusing on conservation of water. Conserving water saves energy. Energy is needed to filter, heat, and pump water to our homes. So, reducing our water use also reduces our carbon footprint. Using less water keeps more in our ecosystem. That protects our natural water bodies and their aquatic environments. These objectives relate to the volume and quantity of water to remain in water bodies for the protection of a natural water body and its aquatic environment.
On this beautiful sunny day at the onset of spring, we are here to actually deliberate upon a very important theme that concerns the life and existence of all of us. And if you might have seen, just day before yesterday, Honorable Prime Minister of the country chaired a very important meeting on how to deal with the issues of climate change, because the February month of this year, 2023, has been said to be the hottest year in last 122 years. And so for these issues of climate change, degradation of water bodies, depletion of biodiversity, and other things are concerned, they are so much linked to our very much existence. And in fact, all the issues, especially the pandemics that we recently went through, has also its roots somewhere down there. So it's basically in that context that under the National Mission of Himalayan Studies, the Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change has actually initiated different chapters across Himalayan states, those under the aegis of Himalayan Knowledge Network. And the idea is to basically bring the practices and policies, the best practices in the conservation of biodiversity and, management of water bodies to the policy forums.